Gold start, right? So thank you for reminding. Sorry, the previous part was missed. It's okay then. It is an advantage for the people who are participating. All right, everyone, I think you can see the screen now, a case study. Right, so let's go with this example today. Here it says ABC company has 4 departments and every department has a department head. Number of employees, a fixed value for each department. Right, so now it describes about an entity. It says the company has 4 departments, and again about the department there are 2 data have mentioned here. One is department head and the number of employees in the department. So those are the data that going to be kept as the about the department. Department again data දෙකක් මේක mention කරලා තියෙනවා. එක තමයි head ගේ නම and number of employees. So children, now we must think about the entity, right? So now department is an entity of this environment. මොකද අපි department එක ගැන data තියාගන්න යමු. Right. So now we have 2 department and one is department head, other one is number of employee, right? So these are the 2 data or 2 fields. Again children, we must think about the environment situation now, and normally a department must have a department name, right? Without a department name, the department cannot exist. සාමාන්‍ය ආයතනයක් ගත්තාම department එක අංශයක් වල නමක් තියෙනවා. So in this case study, it is not mentioned, but we must have a common sense to add that department name. So one field is department name. Again children, we already learned now. For a table, there must be a primary key. So do we have a field that we can make for a primary key here? Department name is a unique one for a department in one organization, but it's a name, right? Normally when you're going to insert a name or type a name, there can be typos. Name. So normally we are not going to use name as primary keys. Name can bigger primary key. So children, then what we have to do? To design this table, again we have to add the ID, right? So I'm going to add another field which is called department ID. So now in the department table, so this is a department table. So department is an entity of the database. We are going to have 4 fields. One is department ID, department name, then department head, and number of employees. A table like fields. Okay. So let's check the other one. Company keeps employee detail under categories, namely NIC number, name, address, date of birth, and mobile number. So now employee is again an entity because the company is going to keep data about employees. NIC number, name, address, date of birth, like that, right? So then we have to create another table. that is employee. NIC. Employee name. Employee address. Employee mobile number. Right. Again, in this table, we can make NIC as a primary key, right? Because it's a unique number for each person, and that will not repeated. So again, there will not be any person who doesn't have a NIC number. NIC number නැති කෙනෙක් ඉන්න දෙයක්වත් නැහැ. ඒතර empty වෙන්නෙත් නැහැ. NIC number repeat වෙන්නෙත් නැහැ. Right, you're right. So then what we have to do? We doesn't need a primary key, but to make it unique or make it more accessible, it is better to have a field, ID field in the table. So the NIC it's a long number. Again, when the number going to have number of when the number of digits in the number going to increase, again there can be mistakes. That possibility is goes high. When the field or when the data going to have long digits or large number of digits, then the possibility of having mistakes also increased. Therefore, it is better to add a simple ID field as the primary key. NIC can be used, but normally in NIC there are 10 numbers. So when the number of digits in the number going to increase, we know that the possibility of making mistakes also going to increase. So then we are going to define another field, employee ID, as the primary of the table. So make අපි තමයි define කරගන්න. අපිට password. Because we are the administrators of this database now. We are not the users, right? So think as administrators. You are the people who are going to design the table. ඔයාලා මේ table එක use කරන්න නෙවෙයි, ඔයාලා මේ table එක හදන කට්ටිය. Okay. Then there are several projects going on in the company now, and each project have a project ID, project name, and supervisor. So now you can understand that project also an entity of this table, right? Because of this database, because each project gonna have some data like project ID, project name, and the supervisor. So now project is also one table of this database. Project, and it has project ID. What else? Project name and supervisor. Name and supervisor. Every employee is given their own workstation, and every workstation has an ID and a category. So again, you can understand that the workstation, workstation table, it can be table, it can be a computer, it can be a machine or anything, right? So about workstations also, we have to keep data because the company needs to store the workstation ID and the category, right? So then again, this workstation also becomes a entity because we have to keep data about that, right? Then workstation. Right. Workstation ID. And the category, right? Next paragraph says each employee belongs to one department. For a project, one employee or more can be assigned, and one person can work on multiple projects. එතකොට මේ කියන්නේ relationship ගැනනේ. එක department කෙනෙක් එක department එකට අයිති වෙනවා. Project එකකට ගොඩක් ඉන්න පුළුවන්, එක්කෙනෙකුට project ගොඩක් තියෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. Again, for a workstation normally only one employee is assigned. Right? Then we have to think about the relationships, right? Okay, then there is a question why we use underscore when writing information. Here, it's a very important question, right? Normally, children in programming and database management and those computer administrative things, we are not going to use spaces between one variable or a name. So normally these are called as identifiers. So for the identifiers, the identifier can be a name variable, a name of a table, a name of a field, right? So those identifiers, we are not going to use spaces between two words. An identifier must be a one word. මේවට ළමයි අපි කියන identifiers කියලා. ඒතර මේ field එක නමක් නේ. ඒතකොට මේ field වල නමක් අපි භාවිත කරන identifier එකක් විදියට. ඒ field එක identify කරගන්න. In that case, we can't use spaces. That must be a one word, right? To separate these two words, I use the underscore sign. There are several methods that you can follow. You can use without the underscore as well, right? First letter capital, again the other letter capital. So then we can easily identify the two words. That is also okay. But to make it more clear, I used an underscore sign to separate these two words, but ultimately, this will be one word. Department name කියන එක එක වචනයක්. ඒක වචන දෙකක් විදියට නෙවෙයි තියෙන්නේ. But in order to read that one, we must separate the two words. So therefore I use underscore sign. ඔයාලා මතක තියාගන්න අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම when we going to use an identifier in computer programming or database management or anything, you must use that as a one single word. එක වචනයක් විදියට තියෙනවා. Right? මේ විදියට මේ project name වචන දෙකක් තමයි. හැබැයි ඒක එක වචනයක් කරගන්න මම නැදර underscore use කරා. Again, you can't use any other symbol, right? Other than underscore. වෙන symbols පාවිච්චි කරන්න බෑ. You can use underscore only. Okay. So very good question, right? Okay. Now children, in the table we have, in the database we have now 4 tables. Still these tables are not linked with each other because we haven't created any relationship here. Now we have to create relationships. Okay. Now, if we take department and employee, right? So an employee is belong to department, an employee, right? When we take this relationship, what is the relationship type here? How we can identify? For one department, there are many employees, right? For one department, there are many employees. Again, one employee is belong to one department. Again, for a department, there are many employees. For one employee, there are only one department. So then this is a one-to-many relationship. So now we must create the relationship between these two tables. In order to do that, we have to add one primary key from one table into the other table. So that is called as a foreign key, right? Okay. So now what we have to do here, in from which table we have to take the primary key? Normally, if the relationship is one-to-many, we have to take the primary key from one side, not from the many side. Then one is there in the department table side. So then we have what we have to do. We have to take the primary key. So these are the primary keys, right? Here the primary keys is department ID. In this one, the primary key is employee ID, project ID, workstation ID. So these are the primary keys. So then we have to take department ID from this table and insert that into employee table. We have to insert that here. So then I can add department ID into employee table. Now this becomes the foreign key of this table. Foreign key. This is the primary key in the red color, which I underline with the red color is the primary key, and department ID is the foreign key because it's the primary key of another table, and this department ID is added to this employee table only because we have to create the relationship. So then it becomes a primary key, sorry, foreign key. Now these two tables are linked together, right? Okay. Then we have to think about employee and the project. Before that, let's join workstation and employee. Right. So workstation. And employee. Right. So for one workstation, only one employee is there. Again, for one employee, only one workstation is assigned. One employee can go to a workstation, one workstation, one employee can. So then this relationship is a one-to-one relationship. Then there is no matter, we can take primary key of workstation table or we can take the primary key from employee table because both sides we have one in the relationship. So let's add the employee ID into workstation table. So we can take employee ID and I'm going to add that here. Employee ID. Now the link is created between employee table and workstation. Then let's think about employee table and the project table. So children, if we take that relationship here, employee and project, right? In that case, for one employee, there can be multiple projects. Ek employee kenek samanyen project goda වැඩ කරනවානේ. එයා එක විතරක් නෙවෙයි. So then many. One employee works in many projects. Again, for one project, there will be more employees. Many employees. එක project එකකට employees ලා ගොඩක් ඉන්නවා වගේම එක employee කෙනෙක් projects goda වැඩ කරනවා. So this is many to many now. Then what we have to do then? Because from many sides, we can't take the primary key. We can take a primary key only from one side of the relationship. So in this many to many one, we can't take a primary key from any table. In such cases, if the relationship is many to many one, we have to create an additional table and add both primary keys into that table. Therefore, what I'm to do here, I'm going to create a new table employee project. I just give it a name, right? It's an identifier. So you can use any name for that one, but you have to make it a meaningful one, right? Then I'm going to add project ID and employee ID. Here, it's a new table. In this table, we can link employee table and project table. project ID from this table. And employee ID from this table. Now the relationship is created with an intermediate table. Right. So try to understand the relationships and how we link the table. And if you have any questions, you can ask now, right? So if you don't have any questions, we can proceed. Okay. So that is how you have to link the tables, create relationships. Okay. Right. Now we have already designed the table or the database. Now we are going to implement this table using a computer application. To create this database, we have to use the database management system. So there are multiple database management systems available. So Excel is the one which is provided from Microsoft. So that is again somewhat user-friendly one that we can use with different interfaces as well. So now we are going to use MS Access to create this database. Okay, right, children. So now you have to open Access. Right, I'm going to clear the annotations. Right. When I open Access, this is the default interface. Again, you must aware that in this one there are two views. One is called datasheet view. The other one is called as design view. Datasheet view and the design view, right? Right. So this is the area which we can see tables and other things. We can list the tables in the database, and this is the data sheet of the table. Normally, to create a table, you have to go to design view. Every time, if you are to create a table, you have to go to design view. If you are going to enter some data into the table, then you have to go to datasheet view. Right. So before enter data into a table, you must create the table. Therefore, you have to go to design view. So you can click design view from here. Then you have to give it a name. So our first table is department, right? I'm going to give the name department. Okay. Now this is the area that I use to create the table fields. First one is ID, and we are going to make that as department ID, right? Department ID. Auto number. So this is the data type field. It is very important that when you get to create a database, you must select the relevant data type for the cell of this table. DID, department ID කියන එකට මොන වගේ data එකක්ද ඔයාලා දාන්නේ කියන එක ඔයාලා explain නැත්නම් define කරන්න ඕනේ. So these are the data types available in MS Access. So short text, long text. Short text is you can use 256 characters. Long text more than that. Number, large number like date and time. Currency, auto number. So auto number is when you're going to add records into the table, the number will be automatically increased. Auto number. It will increase like 1, 2, 3, 4 when you're going to add new records in the table. Yes, no, Boolean data type, attachment, right? Calculated means you can add a field with a calculation. Users doesn't have to enter data for that field. The data will be filled automatically with the calculation. So like that, different data types are available. When you're going to define a field or create a field, you must define the data type, right? So DID, department ID, we are going to use a number as a department ID, let's say number. Again, next one is department name, right? Name. So here you can see this is a field name. So field name is an identifier. So then we have to use it as a one single word. Then we will be in trouble. If not, when we're going to insert this in some programs, we will be in trouble if this consists 2 words. So then children, keep in mind that every time when you're going to define an identifier, that must be a single word. So you can use a separator like underscore to separate. There are multiple words in the name. වචන කීපයක් තියෙනවා නම් separate එකක් පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් underscore එක වගේ. හරිද? Okay. Then department name, that must be a text, and we can use short text for that. After that, department head and department number of employees, right? Department head. That is also short text, right? It's a name. Then number of employee. So number of employee must be a number. Right, so these are the fields of this table. Then we have already set them. And these formattings also very important. If I just click here, you can choose long integer or integer. You can choose integer. Integer is numbers, right? Again, input mask we'll discuss in coming lectures. Then this is important, required. So if the user filling this field or enter data into this field is compulsory, you have to make it a required field. In the table, it is compulsory to add data. Again, you can see the key sign here. That means the primary key of this table is this one, DID, right? If you want to change this one, you can select this and click on primary key. You can remove the primary key. You see, it's removed now. If you want to make this one as the department name as the primary key, then you can select the field and make it primary key. I'm going to make DID as the primary key again. So then that field must be a required field. Users must enter data into that field. Otherwise, that can't be used as a primary key because empty values cannot be there in a primary key field. Okay, children. Now, department table is ready now. You can go to data sheet view. You have to save that one. Yes. So this is the table. You can add some data from here. Right. We shall add some data. Department is 1. Name is sales. Head. Some name. Number of employees 40. Second row, IT department. Some name, employees 5. 3. HR department 12. So like that we can add data from the data sheet view. Now we're going to create the other table. So you can click on table. Then select the table, go to design view. You have to give the name, that is employee. Employee ID. In this one, I'm going to select as it has a short text because we're going to define our own ID for employees with a letter. Then I'm going to select that as short text because in our NIC also there's a letter, right? B at the end. So like that, you can define a new employee ID. Then employee name, short text. Employee address, short text. Mobile ID, right? Employee mobile, that is also a short text because we are going to use 0 at the beginning of the phone number. So then that's a text because if it is a number, we can't use 0 in front of the number. Then again, we have to have department ID as well in this table, right? Because to create the link, we must have department ID. That is why we initially design the table in a paper and clearly identify what are the relevant field in one table. Now we know that to make the relationship between department and employee, we have to add a new field, that is department ID, into employee table. We know this now, right? Therefore, in this table creation process, we must add DID in this table as well. Again, the data type must be same. In the department, we select number as the data type of the department ID. Here also it should be same. Right. Then you can go to datasheet view and see. I'm going to add some data. Let's say E1, some name, mobile number, let's say the department ID is 1. Okay, we are not going to add the department ID yet, right? I'm just going to add some data and see, right? ඔයාලා මේ ෆෝන් නම්බර්ස් වලට කෝල් කරන්න යන්න එපා කාගෙද දන්න හිතලා දාන්න. නම බලලා ෆෝන් නම්බර් කෝල් කරන්න එපා. Okay, children, now we have data there. Again, we have to create another table. Create table, design view. So that table is a project. Project. Okay. Project ID. Again, I'm going to make it a text, short text. There's project name and supers, right? Short text. Supervisor, short text, right? The table is created. Design view, sorry, datasheet view. P1. Project name. Building. All right, data is there. Again, in the project table, we have only these, right? Okay. Then workstation. Next table. Create table. Design view. Station ID. Let's use this as a number. And category, right? Category short text. Station ID, let's say 100. Category A. Brand 1. B. Brand 2. A. Okay, data is there. Now we need another table, that is employee project, right? In that table, we have employee ID. So employee number ID is a text, short text, data type. So data types must be similar in each table. And project ID, that is also short text. I'm not going to add data into that table, right? Okay. Now, children, what we did here, we just create some tables. Again, last day also, you have learned how we can create tables. Then now we're going to learn that how we can enter and link these tables, right? Now, children, in the department table, there are no foreign keys, right? Only primary keys there. Department ID is primary. In the employee table, there is a foreign key, that is department ID. So now in the department table, we have some department IDs. Again, we have to make sure that when we're going to add that department ID into this table, it must be a ID which is already there in the department table. අපි දැන් department ID එකක් දානකොට අපි අනිවාර්යෙන් හරියටම බලන්න ඕනේ ඒක අපේ department table එකේ දැනට තියෙන ID එකක් මත කියන එක. That data must be there in the department table. So then it is very difficult for us to add data here because that data should match with the data which are already in department table. Then in such cases, to fill data for a foreign key, we can use a list. So ළමයි මේක foreign key එකක්. So foreign key එකට data දානකොට අනිත් දැන් මෙයා department ID එකනේ. හරියටම මෙතන department ID එකේ තියෙන number එකක්ම මෙයාගේ add වෙන්න ඕනේ. If not, the consistency of data will be lost. then database will not work. The relationship will not work. Therefore, we are not going to add data manually here. Actually, we're going to do it manually, but we are not going to just add data. We can create a list and select from the list. You have to create a list. Now see how we can do it. In the employee table, I'm going to go to the design view now. Design view. And for department ID, we have to add a number. And children, in this other data, we call these options, right? Field options. In the field option, we can see field properties actually. See, field properties. Lookup tab. See, in the lookup tab, it says display control. So that is where we are going to use a control which we're going to use add data. Here, so these are text boxes. See, you can just click and type them. Click and type text boxes. So this is the control field. Actually, control. I made a control here. Control my text box. We can type there. So when I go to design view, in the lookup, it says display control is a text box, right? We saw that earlier, right? This is the display control, it's a text box. Now we're going to change this to a list. Normally we use combo box for a list. List box and combo box. We can select from that. So this is a combo box. So from this one you can select. The lookup field, we are going to choose the display control as a combo box. Row source type. Then row source. Row source means for this combo box, from where it should take the data. මේ combo box එකට data ගන්න ඕනි කොහෙන්ද කියන එක තමයි මේ කියන්නේ. So we can select that. See what I did. Display control is a combo box now. For department ID, I have make it a combo box. Row source means where the combo box should fill from which data. So you can select that. Department ID. So in the department table, I'm going to select department table and add. Close this. In the department table, it should be the department ID. Department table department ID or employee table in the department ID data and then I can select this and run. Now you can see it is selected. Now I'm going to go to the data field, data sheet view, save it. Now see, when I click here, you can see a combo box. From there I can select. Or from here you can select department. That is also very easy. You can just select department. See now the data is there. You can select very easily. Okay. Again in the workstation table, see. Oh, in the workstation table, there must be another field, right? That employee ID. We can add employee ID. It's a short text. Now in the workstation, so from where this number should come? From the employee table, right? Then we can change lookup display control to a combo box. මේ අපි කරන්නේ ඇයි මේක? මෙතන මේ විදිහට list එකක් ගන්න. එහෙම නැතුව අපි enter කරන්න ගියොත් නැති data enter වෙන්න පුළුවන්. වැරදි data enter වෙන්න පුළුවන්. අපි අතින් type කරන්න ගියොත්. Because for this one, employee IDs only which are recorded in the employee table must be added. දැනට employee table එකේ තියෙනවා විතරයි මෙතන add කරන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැතුනොත් මේක වරදිනවා නේද? ඒකට නැති employee කෙනෙක් අපි දාන්න යනවා. So in that case, to fill foreign key fields, so these are foreign key fields. To add data for foreign key fields, normally we use IDs, sorry, list. To create a list, you have to go to design view, and from lookup, you have to select combo box. And from here, row source, you can select employee table. Then when you go to datasheet view, you can very easily add the numbers, right? Then you have to make sure that this has one-to-one relationship. So then one workstation must assign only for one employee. Then children, employee project table. Here employee ID and project ID. So both these are foreign keys. Employee ID is in the employee table and the project ID is in the project table. So then both the fields we have to create list or combo boxes. So look up, make the display control as a combo box, and row source we have to make it. This is project, right? So project table. And for this one, again, it's a combo box. Row source is employee table. Now we can reduce the assign employee 1. I'm going to assign that to project. Project 1, employee 2. For project 1, employee 3. Project 2. Okay, so in this table, right, very important thing, in this table we can't make these each one a primary key, right? Primary key in this table. See, employee ID has become the primary key of this. In such cases, what we're going to do, we are going to insert an auto number, just index. So I'm going to make this as the primary key. See, it is auto number now, because in this table there will be multiple. This table will fill with employee IDs and project IDs while we're going to assign employees to the project. So we can't make employee ID as the primary key because that is also going to be repeated, and project ID also will be repeated. In that case, we can create a new field and make it the primary key, and we can let that to increase accordingly. Field add no issue, right? So then you can add fields now. See, when I'm going to add fields, the index number is automatically increasing. Like this. See children, now we have data in these tables. And again, what you must understand, if there is a foreign key field in a table, we are not going to allow the users to enter data manually there. So normally what we do, we create a combo box and add or link that combo box to the relevant field of the table. For example, in this employee table, department ID is a foreign key. Make a foreign key. So then this field must contain data only which are already recorded in the department table. මේ department table එකේ department ID එක විදිහට තියෙනවා විතරමයි මෙතෙන්ට අපිට link කරන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් මේක වර්ධිනවනේ. ඒකට කවුරු කෙනෙක් අපි තුමු මෙතන 5 කියන ඉලක්කම දැම්මා කියනවා. එහෙම වුණොත් there is no department called 5 number 5. Then there is an employee which doesn't belong to a department. So that cannot be happen. So therefore, to avoid all the mistakes while entering data into a foreign key field, we must create a combo box there. To create that one, we have to go to design view. And from here, field properties, you have to go to lookup and select combo box. And after that, you must select the row source, the table. Then the data will be automatically added to the combo box. Okay, everyone, now we have already created all the tables and we have add foreign keys and primary keys as well. Sorry, primary keys and foreign keys as well. Then what we're going to do, we're going to create relationships. මේ relationship ටික අපි manually හදන්න ඕන. We already add fields, but we haven't created the relationships yet. Then we can go to database tools. We are going to create the relationships now. Database tools, relationships. And I'm going to add all the tables here. I'll show you again. I'm going to create the relationship between these tables now. So you have to go to database tools, relationships. Into this one, you have to add all the tables here. You can double click and add them. Employee table, workstation. See, so mistakenly I have added this workstation table twice. Then you can just select that and press delete key in the keyboard. Then it will automatically remove from the list. Now I have employee department. To make the relationship, I have to link or bring department ID from department table and link that with this foreign key. Here this DID is the foreign key, right? So to do that, you have to click here and drag and drop the primary key into the foreign key. Omega drag color drop karna. Again, you have to click enforce relational integrity. So relational integrity means some rules. So those rules says the data in this two fields are same. මේවා අතර වෙනසක් නැහැ කියන එක ensure කරනවා. Again, any field is not empty. සම්බන්ධයක් නැති තැනක් තියෙන විදිහක් නැහැ. So like that, there are some rules. So we have to enforce those rules. One rule is this foreign key must have data which are already stored in this department table. Data consistency. මෙතන department table එකේ නැති department එකක් අපිට link කරන්න බෑනේ. ඒක කතාව තමයි අපි enforce කරන්නේ. So we are enforcing that. The access must check the relational integrity rules while creating the relationship. Create. Okay then. See, when I'm going to create this one, it says the database engine could not lock table employee because it is already in use by another person. That is because I have already opened the table. So before creating relationships, I have to close all the open tables. Employee table, I already opened. Department table, close. Right. Now department ID, I'm going to drop it here and enforce relational integrity. You must click that. Create. Right. Now it says relationship must be on the same number of fields with the same data types. So then in my one, I have made some mistake. So the mistake is with the field data type, right? You can see that relationship must be on the same number of field with the same data type. Let's see. If I did not click this one, enforce එක දුන්නේ නැත්නම් ඔන්න බලන්න. If I did not click this one, I can create. See, the relationship is created. but it is not a valid one. To make it a valid relationship, you must enforce relational integrity rules. When I enable relational integrity rules, it says data type is different. So I can check it now. I'm going to open employee table. Sorry, department table. In the department table, department ID is a number. Let's see in the employee table. Employee table also the same, right? It's a number. Is that? Let's see what's the issue. Department table. The number. Right, everyone. So what we have to do, every time it must be the same data type, right? I earlier make this department an integer from the properties. I forgot that, right? Field size, I make it an integer. Integer is just again number, right? Large numbers and small numbers. In this one also it should be the same, right? Okay. Close this, right? So what you have to do, just select this primary key and drag and drop that into the foreign key. Again, you must enforce the relational integrity, otherwise the relationship will not work properly. So I'm going to create this. Now you can see it says one to many. This is the many icon, one, many. Now workstations. So employee ID is the foreign key here. So I have to select this one, primary key, and drag and drop that to the foreign key. Enforce relational integrity, create. It's created. This shows one to many because without data, it can't identify the relationship, right? Next, employee projects. So these two tables will link with an intermediate table. So I have to link this employee ID and drop it here. Enforce relational integrity and project ID. Primary key, I have to drop it here. Right, now we can see the relationships are created. All the tables are linked now. To create a relationship, you can just select the primary key and drag and drop that into the relevant foreign key. To do that, in the tables, you must add the foreign key fields. So therefore, when you are given a question or when you are given a case study and asked to create a database, before creating the tables, you must design the tables. To do that, you can use this kind of method, the table name and the fields. Table name and the fields. Then you can add foreign key fields as well to make relationships. After that, you can very easily create the tables using the database management system. Right, children. So these are the steps that you have to follow. Initially, you must design the tables, and after that, you have to create the tables. And after creating the tables, you can make the relationships. When you're going to make relationships, you must enforce the relational integrity rules. I think you could understand earlier. Relational integrity means it check about the data consistency and the data type consistency as well. Data type data so those things must be checked before creating the relationship. Therefore, we have to enable relational integrity rules. Employee, I'm going to add some data here. Right. Up to now, do you have any questions? There are maybe the belong and no tables relationship. Right, everyone, after that, now we can query this data. Now assume that I want to know who are the employees work in sales department. Sales department එකේ කවුද වැඩ කරන employees ලගේ හොයන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් මට බලන්න ඕනේ employee name and the department name. Because department name is there in another table, employee name is there in another table. So I'm going to have a table. I'm going to create a table which has employee name and the department name. So those tables are called as queries because we're going to create those tables temporarily using the already available data. But it's a combination of fields spread over different tables. The tables keep fields keep table we call that a query. We're going to abstract data from the tables. We use queries to abstract data from the tables. Okay, children. So now for the example, we're going to create a query. You can go to create, query wizard and query design. Normally my recommendation is used to query design. Query design. Now I am going to create a table which has the department's employee name and the department. So employee name is there in the employee table. Department name is in the department table. Now I can add each field into this query. This is the query. I want employee name. So double click. The employee name is added here. Department name. I'm going to double click. Department name is added here. Then I can run the query. See, run. I'm going to click on this run command. Now you can see I have a table is created. The employee name and the relevant department. Refresh. See, all the 5 employees are there. Their department names are there. So then I can save this one. Save. It asks for a name. Employee department. Now see, the query is created. And in that query, I have the data, employee name and the department name. Similarly, I can add, I can take any field from any table. Assume that I want to know the employee name, their department, and their workstation ID and the projects they're already working. So then I have to go to create, query design. I want to know the employee name first. So employee table, their department name, their workstation ID, and after that project name, right? So I can just take the tables first and click on employee name, department name, and here I need the workstation ID. So double click there, it's added. And for this field, I need the project name. Then I can run the query. Say, see, someone, department, workstation ID, he's working in building project. Again, he is working in park project. All the data is there. So like that, children, using query wizard, query design, we can abstract relevant or the required data from multiple tables actually. So all these 4 fields are belong to 4 tables. Because we have already created these relationships, Access will go through these relationships and find the relevant data and show them in the query. Without the relationships, that this will not work. මේ relationship එක තියෙන නිසා තමයි මේක මේ විදිහට වැඩ කරන්නේ. Query එක. Again, when you're going to design queries, there are some other additional rules. We are going to learn that learn about query designs in next day, right? Okay, before that, in employee address, here you can see E1, E2 like that. So now I'm going to create a new table for this example. Create table, and I'm going to name it as example. So employee ID. I'm going to make it a text. Department ID. Project ID. So these kind of IDs, normally what we do, we use different formats for these IDs, right? Children, assume now, for these, I'm going to erase this now. For employee ID, these are some examples, right? EMP001 is an example. For department ID, we're going to use DEP 001A, and another one is DEP 002B. So in department ID, these letters are DEP always, and the last letter will be changed, and it's a simple one. In here, this will be EMP and WRK 001, MGT 001. So like that, you can see these letters change with the number, but letter, we must have 3 letters in front of the number. So like that, when you're going to define this field data, right, IDs, project ID, we use some formats, right? So these are the project IDs. You can see 2 letters, 2 capital letters, again 2 numbers. 2 numbers, 2 capital letters, 2 numbers. Here only 1 number. So in this one, you can see there are 6 digits. In this one, 5 digits. So that's the difference. So let's take the first one first. Again, if you don't understand, you can ask questions at the same time, right? Then la EID, employee ID කියන එක අපි තුමු format එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා. ඒ format එක තමයි මුල් අකුර capital, ඉතුරු අකුරු දෙක simple, ඊට පස්සේ numbers 3ක් එනවා. හරිද? මෙතනත් ඒ වගේමයි නේද? මුල් අකුර capital, ඉතුරු අකුරු දෙක simple, numbers 3යි. හැබැයි අකුරු වෙනස් වෙනවා. Right. To avoid all the mistakes that going to happen when we going to enter data, we can use input masks. Right? I'll show you that. For the employee ID, you can see input mask here. Input mask. Okay, right. So these are the input mask symbols. You can see. Zero. User has to enter a digit. User may enter optional digit. බිඳුව තියෙනවා නම් user අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම number එකක් enter කරන්න ඕනේ. 9 තියෙනවා නම් user may enter optional digit. user enter කරන්න පුළුවන් නොකර ඉන්න පුළුවන්. Has user can enter a digit space plus or minus sign. L user must enter a letter. Question mark user may enter an optional letter. So like that all these symbols assign with a rule. A user has to enter a letter or a digit. Number එකක් දාන්නත් පුළුවන් ඉලක්කමක් දාන්න. Sorry අකුරක් දාන්නත් පුළුවන්. So like that you can see each symbol is assigned with a rule. See uppercase. හැමතිස්සෙම uppercase letter එකක්. Lowercase letter. So now we can use these symbols to create input mask. Let's see how we can do it, right? For the project employee ID, first letter must be capital. Other two letters must be simple, but there must be three letters and 3 numbers. User must enter 3 letters and 3 numbers. So that's it. Those are the rules, right? That is how the format is designed. Now, what you can do here, click on input mask. Then you can click edit list. And here, see, new record. Click on new record. Description is employee ID. Input mask. Right? In the employee ID, see, first letter has to be a capital letter. So, uppercase. I'm going to define the input mask now, right? Uppercase. So, this symbol says uppercase. And user must enter letter there, right? So L, user must enter a letter. L. Then the other 2 letters are lowercase. Lowercase, user must enter a letter. So L. After that, user must enter a number. User has to enter a digit, 0. Then I'm going to add 3 zeros. So this input mask defines that for employee ID, the first letter must be a capital one. Other 2 letters have to be simple letters, but user must enter 3 letters, however. And again, user must enter 3 numbers. We can add a sample data here. So I'm going to press a simple letter, right? One simple letter enter karanne, but you can see a capital letter is printed. Now I am going to type a capital letter. My shift capital letter තමයි දැන් දාන්න යන්නේ. එනකොට ඔයාලට පේනවා enter වෙන්නේ simple letter. So whatever the letter that we going to enter, capital or simple, according to the defined input mask, the first letter will be a capital one and the other 2 will be simple ones. And here I'm going to, again I'm typing, see, I'm typing letters, but this will not type any letter. අයි අපි දීලා තියෙන 0 නේ මෙතන. කියන්නේ ඊළඟ character එක 0 ම වෙන්න number එකක් වෙන්න ඕන. මම කොච්චර letters type කරත් type වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Now I'm going to type numbers. Again I'm typing numbers. Only 3 numbers will be printed, displayed. So we will be limited or confined into the defined input mask. Now we can close this and select it from here and finish. Now you can see when I go to design view, if I'm just typing numbers here, right? මම දැන් මේ ඉලක්කම් type කරනවා type වෙන්නේ නැහැ. අකුරක් type කරනවා type වෙනවා. ඉතුරු දෙක simple type කරනවා. දැන් කොච්චර අකුරු type කරලා type වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Numbers type කරනවා ඉංග්‍රීසි type වෙන්නේ නැහැ. See, now the user is limited or restricted to enter data only according to the format. Right? Okay, we'll try another one. Department ID. So if we just check the examples, first letter is always DEP. Then 3 numbers and a letter. A simple letter, right? Now we can define that. Input mask, edit list. We have to click this one, new record. and this is department ID. Input mask. So in the input mask, first letters are DEP. Always those are DEP. And then 3 numbers, right? So 0, 0, 0. And then a lowercase letter. See, DEP also printed 3 numbers and the letter. Close. You can select that. Finish. Now when you're going to enter data, see, always when you click, DEP letters are already printed. And you can just enter numbers. Only 3 numbers will be printed. Then I just click. I'm clicking on a number now, but it's not going to print here. And a letter. There will be no letters printed again. This one, letter and numbers. See, very easily you can fill data. Again, next one, project ID. If we just see the examples, we can take an idea about the format. 2 numbers, 2 capital letters, 2 or 1 number. Here 1 number, right? එක අංකයක් හෝ දෙකක් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. මුලින් අංක දෙකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. capital letters දෙකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. අංකයක් හෝ දෙකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. See? Input mask. Go here. Edit list. New record. That is a project ID. Input mask. So 2 numbers, right? User must enter 2 numbers. See, 0. User has to enter a digit. 0, 0, 2 numbers. Then 2 capital letters. LL. See, user must enter a letter L. Then again, user must enter a number, right? 0. Then user may enter optional digit. ඊට පස්සේ අංක තියන්න පුළුවන් නැති වෙන්න. So then you have to use 9 here. 9. 9 is the symbol. User may enter optional digit. And you can add a sample here. ඊට type කරන්න බෑ. Data sheet view. Okay, children, so 2 numbers and 2 letters, then number. So the user is restricted to enter data only according to the relevant format. Like this, right? I can leave the last number. So that is called input mask. So if you search in the web, you can find this list, input masks. So you can follow the symbols and define your own input mask for the number format. If it is a, what we call, let's say a ID number, NIC number. Shall we add another field? NIC. Right? Input mask. So normally in NICs, in some NICs, there are 9 numbers and a letter. Again, in newest ones, there are 13 numbers, right? Now you have to define that. NIC. Define karam. Normally in NIC, for example, අලුත් NICs කොහොමද Now, so these are the two formats of ID numbers used in Sri Lanka. So now we must define the input mask for this NIC. We must allow the users to enter an NIC number belong to any format. So in that case, initial 9 numbers, users must enter 9 numbers. So 0 is the input mask. User has to enter a digit. Then we have to use 9 zeros. It's okay. In this point, users may enter a number or a character or a letter, right? May format again a number, may format again a character, letter. See, user has to enter a letter or a digit. A is the symbol. User has to enter a letter or digit, right? A letter or a number. So then A. After that, in this format, there are no any other numbers, but in this format, users may enter another 2 numbers. Then 9, right? User may enter optional digit. Then the aluth format again. So this is the input mask that we can use for the NIC field. If we use this input mask in the NIC field, when the user is going to fill a form, there will not be any mistakes. We can minimize the mistakes. So number එක වැඩි පුරවා දෙන්න පුළුවන්, අඩුවෙන් වදින්න පුළුවන්, අකුරක් වැඩි පුරවා දෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේ අපිට minimize කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So that is the main purpose of having input mask in the input fields. Right, children. So that's all that we're going to discuss for today. Do you have any questions regarding those? How you can create tables, what are the relationships, how we can identify relationships, how we can make define primary keys, and again we discuss how to create a list, combo box, and after that how we can create relationships, and again why we need to enforce the integrity relational rules, integrity rules, and again input masks. So if you have any questions, I can give you some time. If not, we can wind up the session. Again, I will add this to YouTube actually. I'll share the link through the LMS. Again, children, you better subscribe the channel because for future videos, it will be an easy thing for you. Okay. Right, everyone, shall we wind up then? Again, last day I share my contact details. If you have any questions to ask, you can contact me anytime, right? Okay. So everyone have a nice evening. We'll wind up the session. Thank you for your participation. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.